Hello and welcome to the real top 10 of everything. Now when I say everything, it's the stuff that I like, but it doesn't mean you can't get involved. You can interact as well. Tell me what your top 10 is. See whether you disagree with some of my choices in the comments below. You can also share the video and subscribe to the channel if you want. Right, let's get on with this first top 10 of everything. And I thought we'd start off with something that I have a very big passion for. Ever since 1992, I've been into the Carry On films. Now, these films have kept cinema goers laughing from 1958 to 1992. And in that time, there were 31 films made. So how am I going to put 31 films into 10? That's not going to be easy. And there were quite a few duds out there. So it made it a little bit easier. Some of these duds included Carry On Girls, the first in the line of really bad Carry On films, Carry On Behind, England, Emmanuel and Columbus, all a bit rubbish. And that's not forgetting Cruising and Up the Jungle, which were also really kind of borderline rubbish. However, I've whittled them out and I've basically made my top 10. So let's start with number 10. And there at number 10 is the second Carry On film, Carry On Nurse. Now, the hospital theme was quite a thing for the Carry On team, and they made 4 films, all based around the NHS. Do you know what? Only 2 of them have made it onto this list. So this is a real classic. Gives you a real sense of what life was like on the wards in the late 50s. And number 9, it's Carry On at Your Convenience. Now, Carry On at Your Convenience has been a big favourite of a lot of the fans ever since, well, ever since I can remember. And in the day, it was a mere flop, but the audiences love it now. But for me, it just doesn't have enough in it to really make it top, like most people would put it top. It's missing some vital elements, and the storyline is a bit hit and miss. At number 8, Carry On Cowboy. Now this one is quite an ambitious project, I think, and that's why I like it, because it's all to do with the Wild West. Now the accents are a bit phony, and you know, they do sound a little bit rubbish at times, but you know what? It makes it all that little bit special. The sets are great considering it's built on the Pinewood backlot, but it really does give an essence of the Wild West. I love it. Number 7 on my list, Carry On Cleo. Now, this is yet again another ambitious project, and I think this one really does hold some real good material. Some very good jokes like infamy, they've all got it infamy. And the sets and the costumes just bring the whole thing to life. When you watch it on the film, it looks colourful, it looks vibrant, it looks really good. A solid Carry On. At number 6, my favourite monochrome Carry On film, Carry On Cabbie. Now, I've always had a little soft spot for this, and I don't know why, but it has probably quite the essence of kind of what everything a Carry On should have. When you have a look at some of the other monochrome Carry On films, they're a little bit, how shall I say, a little bit boring, you could say. They don't have enough in them, you could say. They're a little bit light on the humour. But this is when we first really start to see some of that humour expanding. A great Carry On. Now we come in to the top 5. And, well, I'm going to start off with yet again another fan's favourite. At number 5, Carry On Camping. I know what you're saying. Carry On Camping at number 5. 4 more Carry Ons, and what are you going to put up there? Well, don't despair, because Carry On Camping is a fine Carry On film. And yes, it has everything a Carry On film needs. It's got boobs, it's got bums, it's got sexual innuendo, and it's got a good set of characters in it. But, for me, I've seen it a little bit too many times. And for me, it just tends to have that moment of essence where I just get a little bit bored with it sometimes. However, it is a solid Carry On, and it deserves to be up there in my top 5. At number 4, one that I don't think you're going to be expecting to see in the top 10 at least. Carry On, Don't Lose Your Head. Now originally it wasn't going to have the Carry On name, but they done their best and they even put the Carry On title back on it once they realised there was potential for this to be a Carry On. Now the reason why I like this is, one, because it has yet again that great historical feel to it, and it moves rather quickly. And I love the duo of Sid James and Jim Dowell moulding together and creating that essence of pure comedy. Kenneth Williams is on fine form, but also it's my dad's favourite, and my dad passed away about a year ago now, and I always remember him talking about the end scene, and he said, I like that one where all the place falls down and he goes up to it, Kenneth Williams, he says, my precious vase, and all this sort of thing, and has a little soft spot in my memory, I think. So yeah, that's why it's up there. We get into our top three, and three I'll start off with Carry On Doctor. And, well, it's the best hospital carry-on film without a doubt. You know, I mean, you've got two more that I could have put on this list. You've got Matron and, again, Doctor. Both very average carry-on films. But Doctor is a fine carry-on film. I think you could probably put this very close with Camping. They're pretty much similar on both senses, that they've got a full cast and they've got everything you need. You've got all the jokes, you've got all the bed panorama. It's perfect carry-on material. And number two, Carry On Abroad. Now, this is the last time I think we, one, get the Carry On team all together, but secondly, the last decent Carry On film. Anything after this was utter tripe, without a doubt. So this is the last decent Carry On film. But this was also the very first Carry On film I ever bought. And the story is that I had £5 as a child in 1992. I went into a video shop and I said to my mother, I want to buy a film, I said. I want a film. I want to buy a Carry On, I said. I've heard they're funny. She said, they are. They're very good. She said, they're very funny. Which one, I said. Now, bear in mind, there's a sea of Carry On films on the video shelf. And she said, Carry On Abroad, she said. It's a good way to start, she said. It's funny and it's got a good laughs in it. Do you know what? It didn't fail to disappoint. But now we come to number one. Yes, number one on the list. It's Carry On Screaming for me, because it's just so different. It takes the whole Carry On-ness out of Carry On and puts it into Hammer Horror with a very funny way of doing it. Harry H. Corbett in his own Carry On film fits perfectly into the film, and you would think he was a regular the way you see him on camera. You don't need the likes of Sid James to be in the film. It didn't need him. But altogether, this Carry On film brings out everything you need in a Carry On film. There's thrills, there's spills, there's chills, there's even some screams. But this is just a perfect Carry On. Frying tonight! And that brings me to the end of my top 10 Carry On films. Let me know what you think. See if your list is any different and drop me a comment below. Until next time, that's the real top 10.